he, they pronouns. Like, I'm just really excited that we have like the first.
I did not need you to give your pronouns. The fact that you have a mask on, I could have taken a guess.
The truth is done.
I'm him. That he is me. I am him. He is looking at her like, what? Why are you talking like this? All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. So happy to have you here. So as most of you know, probably the DNC concluded a couple of days ago. So what we are going to do today is just react to a couple of speeches, a couple of interviews that came out, just have a general discussion about what we saw happening at the DNC. I believe it's next week. The video I have planned is kind of just doing a broad comparison of the DNC and the RNC, because I didn't really go in too deep for the RNC, so we will do that next week. But with that, this is your reminder to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you do ring the notification bell so that you don't miss any new uploads, because we are uploading twice a week now on this channel. All of my other social media will be linked down below as always. And with all of that, let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing that I want to look at is this video, it was just kind of an interview of this guy that was at the DNC. Let's check it out.
What brought you out here today? No, listen, my name is Noah Shorts. I use he, they pronouns. Like, I'm just really excited that we have like the first.
I did not need you to give your pronouns. The fact that you have a mask on, I could have taken a guess. But thank you.
Black women that could be the president of the United States. And you know, like my wife, right? We're in a polyamorous relationship. The lover that my wife took is African American, and like I've learned so much.
I'm sorry, but if the words "the lover that my wife took" ever come out of your mouth, you need to know that you are a cuck. That's really embarrassing for you. I'm so sorry that you have found yourself in that situation. To have your mind so warped that you think that it's okay that your wife is doing things in the bedroom with another man or woman, doesn't really matter. Yikes.
About the struggle that people of color go through as a result of my wife's boyfriend, and so I'm excited to really do my part.
My wife's boyfriend. Oh my god, I am not one to make generalizations. This is something that I'm actively working on. I really try not to do it because they are 100% of the time proven to be incorrect, because there's always an exception to the rule. This is the generic Kamala Harris voter, though. He is loud and proud talking about his wife's boyfriend. That's humiliating. That is so embarrassing, sir.
Solidarity for marginalized communities, and like the best way to do that is to get the first woman of color to be the commander-in-chief, and I'm really excited. I'm so pumped. Were you this pumped and excited when Joe Biden was the nominee? I mean, listen, like I would vote for a corpse over voting for Donald Trump because he's a disgusting fascist, white supremacist pig. But now, like, you know, we get to really make history. We have.
Can you cite your sources, please? Can you point me in the direction of him being a fascist pig or whatever it is that just came out of your mouth, Mr. Noah, I believe your name is, because I've yet to see it. Personally, yet to see it. I would like some proof, some evidence. Thank you so much.
You know, like I said, we have the first woman of color to be president of the United States, and like, you know, our country, it was founded on the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And Kamala.
Our country was most certainly not founded on equity. That is, okay, quick lesson. I do not think that people understand the difference between equality and equity. Equality means that everyone is given the same opportunities. Equity means that you get the same outcome. We were not founded on equity. Just throwing it out there. I'm going to say it again. Standard issue protocol, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, voter right here. If you're insulted, there's probably a reason.
There's nothing embodies those values more than a Kamala Harris presidency. So I'm pumped, like I'm ready. You know, I am so excited. I'm a proud white dude for Kamala Harris, baby. Let's go. Woo! Have you
I just feel like this man has been beaten and abused so much for being a white man that he has found himself in a situation where his wife has a boyfriend and he's voting for Kamala Harris. That's humiliating, sir. I don't know what you need to do. I don't know if you need to like go to the gym or shoot a gun. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here, but you need to do something to make you feel like a man, because right now I can tell that you don't feel like a man because you're not acting like one.
Have you seen any excitement at a Democratic event like in this stadium? Or? No, listen, this is amazing. You know, like you can't generate. I couldn't see any more excitement. Like the only way there could be any more excitement is if, you know, maybe you had like an artist or a celebrity performing or opening for Kamala. But no, this is amazing. This is like.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing anything he's saying. I'm so distracted by the song playing in the background, and that's incredibly white of me.
Celebrity level of excitement. This is a rock star. And then, you know, like, the thing that I'm the happiest about when it comes to Kamala Harris presidency, it's the economy. And, you know, I'm really excited about how she finally wants to put a cap on prices at the grocery store. And, you know,
so communism, you're excited for communism. I paused it the first time to ask if I could get some details about these economic plans, these great economic plans that Kamala Harris has. And I'm glad that I continued on because the answer was communism. Fantastic, sir.
You know, like, look, even if price controls, you know, may lead to like shortages of food and basic goods, you know, the shortages will lead to rationing, and rationing, that leads to equity, and we need to be a more equitable place in America.
I need to do some research. This has to be a skit. There is just no, because I wasn't joking about the communism thing earlier because what he was describing was communism, but then he just flat out like that was communism. What he just described is communism. Somebody commented saying that guy is either one of the greatest trolls ever or has some serious, very serious mental health issues. Correct. And I'm just not sure. He's either a complete idiot or a genius level troll. There's no way this guy isn't the biggest troll in the history of trolls. A person like this cannot be real. It has to be an act performed by a talented comedian. It just has to. That's exactly how I feel. I mean, I truly don't know what else to say about this one. That is bonkers. It went from like hee hee ha ha, little cuck boy, his wife has a boyfriend, to wow, you're straight up just advocating for communism, straight up advocating for food shortages and rationing and equity in that kind of way. Everyone is equal in a communist society because they're equally poor. Holy cannolis, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that was fun. That was a fun one to start with, wasn't it? Okay, so our next one is coming from the one and only Taylor Lorenz, the woman that she is, talking about an event that happened at the DNC called Hotties for Harris. I'm having a hard time with that. I've yet to see a hottie for Harris. I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot of things. Hotties isn't one of them, but let's see what Taylor Lorenz has to say.
Taylor's filling us in on some of the DNC highlights since we haven't been able to get into the convention. And what did you get as a party favor?
So, well, I was at the Hotties for Harris party last night, which was a party a bunch of people went to. And it was like, they had like all of these different sort of things. They had like mini golf where like you go mini golf through like a ring of tampons and stuff. And then
hot. Mini golfing through tampons, super hot. With these types of people, I wouldn't be surprised if they were used. And that's just the fact of the matter.
I went through, then there was like a gumball machine, and I was like, oh, let me turn the gumball machine, and, you know, maybe it's like a ring or something. And it was, I have this, it was Plan B. It's a Plan B pill.
Whores for Harris is probably a better description. Listen, y'all. It's just classless. It's lacking in taste. Now, I am not sitting here saying that the RNC was tasteful. I watched Hulk Hogan. Hogan? No idea, actually. Whoever it is, I watched him rip his shirt off on stage. Also classless. But A Plan B gumball machine definitely tops it. You have no class. I would be remiss if I did not address AOC at the DNC. I don't know why she does this, but whenever she's giving like what she perceives to be an empowering speech, she puts on this black scent, for lack of a better description. She's really trying to channel her inner Martin Luther King. She's really trying to channel something in her that isn't organically there, and it comes off very forced, and it's incredibly uncomfortable. So let's watch. Let's have a look. Let's have a look-see.
Because we know that Donald Trump would sell this country for $1 if it meant lining his own pockets and greasing the palms of his Wall Street friends. And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life. The truth is, Don,
I'm him. That he is me. I am him. He is looking at her like, what? Why are you talking like this? AOC, I'm simply too old for this. Can you please be normal? Can we knock this off, please? It's bizarre. It's coming off incredibly insincere, very disingenuous. It's very performative, may I say. It's just all around bad. And it's uncomfortable. And I don't know what's going on in his head, but I have a feeling it's the exact same thing that's going on in my head, because he just looks completely depleted of life and happiness listening to her drone on.
you cannot love this country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business.
Fantastic. Fantastic. We talked about how she said everything. Let's talk about what she said, shall we? So she talks about how all Trump does is line his own pockets, you know, billionaire, this, that, the other, yada, yada, yada. I find that to be so funny because Donald Trump is actually the first and only president in American history who did not accept a presidential salary. He donated it to charity every single year because he went into the office wealthy. He did not go into the office looking to make money, unlike Kamala Harris, unlike Joe Biden, unlike Barack Obama, unlike either of the Bush presidents. He did not go into it looking for money. He already had money. So I just find it to be absolutely rich when AOC, who's best pals with Nancy insider trading Pelosi, sits here and says that all Trump's trying to do is line his pockets. If Trump wanted to line his pockets, he would never have gotten into politics to begin with. You know how much money he has lost because he's gotten into politics? Now, I'm not saying that Trump doesn't have an ego and that him running for president and doing all of this stuff isn't serving his ego to an extent. Absolutely, I'm certain of it. But I do not think that that's the sole reason, and I do not think that that's the main driver, because I think that you can only do so much. You can only take so much to feed your ego. And I think that Trump has endured quite a bit and lost quite a bit. And if he was just doing this for egotistical reasons, I think that he would have stopped doing it by now. The hypocrisy, it kills me. It absolutely drives me up a wall. Okay, so next up is Chris Cuomo saying something true and accurate. I know, I'm shocked too. Let's hear him out.
Let me reveal a reality to you that has to be spoken to here, okay? Greg, look at the ring of sweets, okay? This is not unique to Democrats. There is a game of money. When people talk about uniparty, we are strangled by the money reality in our politics. Those sweets start at 500 grand. You think there's like a teacher group up in there? You think it's like the Cub Scouts of Columbia County, South Carolina, that's up in those boxes? Those boxes are filled with the same people that they say they're going to regulate. They are literally looking down on the faithful and being told, yeah, we're going to break down on them. We're going to make them pay their share. They paid $500, $700, $1 million, $1.5 million to have those seats. And the same thing is true with the Republican side. And they're going to take them down? They're going to change how it is. They are looking down.
See, he is absolutely correct about the fact that, like, you're being lied to. But I would venture to say you're only being lied to by one party. In this aspect, at least. Let me clarify that. The Republicans lie their little asses off to you. But in this respect, Donald Trump isn't sitting here saying that he's going to regulate. He's saying he's going to deregulate. He wants business to thrive. But the hope is with the deregulations, because here's the reality is regulations and high tax burdens do not really affect big businesses because they're so big. They affect small businesses. It's the small businesses and the middle class that get harmed by these sorts of things. And so by deregulating the system and allowing business to thrive, you're ultimately helping the little guy. And do big businesses also benefit by this? Absolutely. But the reality is if, and again, this isn't going to be for everybody. There's just greedy people, and that's just the way of the world. But there are going to be more instances of companies who have gotten tax cuts and can now afford to pay their employees more. They can afford to have better benefits. They can afford to cut the prices on their goods and services because they are having more of their income not go to the government to be mismanaged and misspent. Though, yeah, it's crazy times, you guys. Chris Cuomo. He's on the show and we're not making fun of him. Wow. Okay, so I want to look at one more speech from Michelle Obama and then just talk about one or two other things that happened at the DNC. So let's do that.
If things don't go our way, we don't have the luxury of whining or cheating others to get further ahead. No. We don't get to change the rules so we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top. No.
You're telling me that the Democratic Party does not lie and does not cheat to get what they want? I've been really drilling this point home the last week, and we're going to continue to. So the reason I saw this video is because Jill Stein, the presidential candidate for the Green Party, quote tweeted this tweet saying, "Stop the gaslighting. Right now, the Democrats are trying to sue us off of multiple state ballots, hiring spies and infiltrators to sabotage us, and even withholding public funds we qualified for months ago. Democrats absolutely cheat and change the rules to maintain their grip on power." And this is 100% true. The point that I've been really getting at in a couple of videos over the last week is you have the Green Party candidate, Jill Stein. You have the independent, RFK Jr., and the Republican, Donald Trump, all making almost the exact same claim, particularly Jill Stein and RFK Jr., who have both claimed that the Democratic Party have bulldozed over them, not allowing them to be on ballots. When they get the signatures to get onto the ballot in certain states, they immediately take them to court so that their campaign loses money in the courts instead of on campaigning, making it impossible for them to campaign or run effectively against the Democrats. The Republicans are not doing this. You can hate the Republicans. I'm not a huge fan of the party. I don't like big government. I don't like the two-tier system. I'm not a fan of it, but at least the Republicans are letting people run. The Democrats are bulldozing anyone who could pose an opposition to their power off of any potential ballot. It's insane, you guys. But enough of that. The last thing that I wanted to talk about in regards to the DNC today was the fact that they had an abortion bus outside, as well as, I don't know if they were two separate buses or if it was all just in one happy little RV camper, vasectomies, free vasectomies. So you could go listen to Michelle Obama speak and then right after decide you don't want children and go snip, snip. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Here's what I have to say about the abortion bus. Gone are the days of safe, legal, and rare, right? That used to be the party line for the Democrats, was safe, legal, and rare. That was their position and their view of abortion. But the party has become overrun by radical leftism that up until 9 months is now the slogan. And what the consequences of having an abortion bus ultimately become is that you take this thing, this horrible, tragic thing that abortion is. No woman should be making that decision lightly. It should be a last resort. It shouldn't have to happen at all. It doesn't have to happen at all. But ultimately, you're taking this thing that is so horrific and you're making it something that is nonchalant. When you can go get a free abortion in the parking lot of the Democratic National Convention, it's now a nonchalant thing. It carries no weight whatsoever. It is meaningless. And that is disgusting. That is so sickening and sad. And I think that this kind of mindset of nonchalantism towards abortion it's what made me swing to be pro-life. I did not used to be at all. But then I started seeing people having parties celebrating the fact that they had an abortion. And it made me sick. And it made me realize that, followed out to its logical conclusion, this is where pro-life ends up. And it's sick. It's crazy. It is insane to me that the DNC decided to have an abortion bus outside of their convention. That's just so bonkers. I can't even grapple with it. But I guess that's to be expected, isn't it? All right, you guys, that is all that I have for you guys. Like I said, I do believe that it is next week's episode where I'm going to do just a light comparison of the RNC and the DNC. Nothing too in-depth or crazy, but keep an eye out for that. That should be coming out on Monday, I do believe. And if you've made it all the way here, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, all of the good stuff, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.